13. This week, complete shit show from start to finish. Well, maybe not from the start. I trained on Monday, which was good. Been so busy with business stuff. You'll see that I've set up a new newsletter. I've been creating all the pages and the websites and all of the links and the newsletter itself, and sitting around trying to think about how I want to create the newsletter and what the newsletter is about. And I transferred all of my business ideas and whole blueprint of my business and business structure from one system to another. So it's been all systems go this week. So I made the executive decision to just not try and fit everything in and rush everything and just get the work done. Some of you will be able to understand that. Sometimes when work is crazy busy, you don't get in till late, or you've got to be in early. Sometimes rather than forcing things to happen and then that having a detrimental knock-on effect to everything else, sometimes it's just, I say, a lot of people say never quit. Well, when I say never quit, what I mean is don't quit on the process. Sometimes it's better to quit what you're doing so it doesn't end up digging you a hole that leads to nowhere. Sometimes if you can just be very self-aware of the situation, stop before you start, or quit whilst you're ahead. When you quit something that you know is gonna just spiral out of control, you stop the damage from happening. And that's what I did. I kind of had an idea that this week was gonna be a bit of a hectic one. So rather than trying to go to the gym, come back, get everything done, I just made the decision to just focus on getting it all done. And now it's all done. So now it's all done, I don't have to worry about it. It's not gonna knock onto this week and the next week. So now I can focus on going back to the gym. But having done that, obviously I'm not in the gym, so I don't consume as much food. My body weight dropped massively. So I lost 5 pounds this week, which is a lot of weight to lose in a week. The reason why I've lost 5 pounds, well, that's because A, I'm not training, B, I'm not eating as much, C, I've been very stressed. I've not had much sleep, woken up last couple of times, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, been very tired, very stressed out. Just had with work, just very stressful week. A lot of things on my mind. So, you take all those things into consideration, it's no surprise that I've dropped 5 pounds. Now, why dropping 5 pounds is bad is because when we are in a fat loss phase, we are trying to maintain the muscle mass that we have. We're trying to decrease body fat, but at the same time, we're trying to keep as much muscle on our bodies as possible. And that's why the process has to happen slowly, because the more body weight you lose, the more of that is going to be muscle along with it. Nobody just loses body fat. And even if you are super on it and super strict with your nutrition and you follow everything to the letter, there's still a small portion of muscle that you're going to lose. It just comes as a part of losing body fat. Just like when you're building muscle, you can't help but gain a little bit of body fat. On the way down, it's the same thing. You can't help but lose a little bit of muscle. But the most important thing and the focus for us is to try and maintain it as much as we can, which is the importance of resistance training and training with weights and trying to get stronger each week. Because the stronger you can get, the more load you can move, the more resistance you create on your muscles, the more reason you give your body to keep it. In a sense, it's you use it or you lose it. In the fat loss phase, you tend to eat less, you tend to do a bit more cardio, and the mindset sometimes creeps in that I don't feel strong because I feel smaller, so I won't lift as heavy. That's the worst thing you can do. We have to always try to push the weights. But coming back to this week, I didn't go to the gym, and my body is slowly getting back to where it used to be. And I am probably one of the only people who, when they don't go to the gym, loses weight. It's just how I've always been. My metabolism is that fast that I have to feed it food to slow it down. Everyone else is trying to speed it up, which is great, but mine is so fast, I have to feed it more food to slow it down. So when I don't go to the gym, when I'm not training, when I'm not eating more food, I just drop a ton of weight. And some of that will be water, some of that will be, most of it will be water. A lot of it will be because I've reduced my carbs quite low because I knew I wasn't gonna be training this week. So there isn't as much need for the carbohydrates. And the thing about that is the water you drink, your carbs soak up that water like a sponge and it gets flushed into your muscles. And that's where you get the contractions from, that's where you get the pump from, that's where you get the energy from in your muscles to be able to move the weight and train for the times at the intensity that you can. That comes down to carbohydrates and water. If you think about filling up a sponge and soaking it in a bucket, when you bring it out, it's soaked full of water. That's your muscles when you have carbohydrates. Now, If you empty the bucket of water and put a sponge in it, it's bone dry. It doesn't weigh as much. And that's the exact same thing with your body. So when you don't eat the carbs, your muscles are very flat because they have small amounts of carbohydrates in them. And when that happens, there is no need for your body to flush water into your muscles. So they become a bit flat, a bit sort of deflated. And that's where that 5 pound drop has come from. This is why I always say the massive fluctuations that we think we want to see down are never good, because the flip side of that is a massive fluctuation up. So this week I'm back to the gym. I'm back introducing carbs into my diet. I'm training. First session today felt a little bit ropey because obviously I took a week off. So I'm not going to be surprised if I'm always looking to lose about, 0.6 to 0.8 pound a week. So I won't be surprised. I'll drop 5 pound this week. I wouldn't be surprised if I put on 4 pound this week. And that's the fluctuation. So the most important thing is that we understand this. And now maybe you'll understand where people get this yo-yo diet effect from. This is the yo-yo diet effect. You restrict carbs, you increase your training, you starve your body of what it needs, so it drops a shit ton of weight. And then once you reintroduce those carbs and start eating normally again, your weight rebounds back up. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid happening. The smaller the movement down, the smaller the movement up. So that's why the process takes as long as it does, because you have to allow your body to adjust to those small increments. If you're dropping 5 pounds every week, you're not giving your body enough time and a chance to even adapt to the changes that you're making. Like, think if you was driving your car 100 mile an hour down a 30 mile an hour road. If anything steps out in front of you, no time to react. That's like your body losing weight really, really quickly. It's got no time to react, no time to adjust. It just does it. Whereas if you're driving down a 30 mile an hour road at 10 mile an hour, it's 20 miles an hour slower. But if anything comes out in front of you, you're going to see it way ahead, which gives you enough time to react and adapt to the situation. That's just like your body. If you lose a pound a week or half a pound a week or 0.2 pound a week, your body's going to be able to adjust to that and react to that a lot more efficiently because it's happening at a slower rate. So this week, I'm back to it, back in the gym, felt good. Mentally, felt a little bit ropey towards the end of the week as well. I understand now, when I don't go to the gym, everything else falls to shit. So as much as I wasn't eating as much carbs this week, haven't eaten, if anything, I've under-eaten. Water's not been great, sleep's not been great. So I understand more so now the reasons why I have to stay consistent with the gym. Before, it was about bodybuilding and just getting in and building muscle and competing, so I was always wanting to be in the gym. But obviously I took 3 years off, so now I've got to find a new reason to be in the gym, not just for my health and my longevity, but I have to try and find, extra motivations for the reason why. And one motivation, which has clearly been demonstrated to me this week, is the fact that when I'm not in the gym, everything else falls to shit. And then that you just get to the end of the week and you don't feel good. The biggest sort of take home from this week is get your ass in the gym. So back in the gym this week, which is good. Other than that, back to it. I had a bit of a toothache as well, which was giving me a bit of jip. That seems to have gone away. So that'll be a trip to the dentist. But other than that, we have 4 weeks left and I'm sitting at 99 kilos. So I only really want to lose 2 more. Probably going to put on the water back in my system from this week. So I'm probably going to go back up to like 101. Still got 4 kilos to lose. But this is the beauty of this process. This is the beauty of me documenting this process for you, is that although I've set myself a target, there's a strong possibility I might not meet that target in the time that I've given myself. And that's not down to anything other than the fact that my body needs more time to do it, because I'm not prepared to make it happen in an extreme fashion. Because like I said, when we make things happen extreme, the rebound of that is an extreme movement, and we don't want that. I want to get to 97 kilos nice and steady so I can stay there as long as I want to. I don't want to have to fight to stay at 97 kilos. So we'll see what happens in the next month or so. Who knows? We might get to 97 kilos and feel fine. I got a feeling I'm probably going to settle around 98, 99. We'll have a look and see how I look back then. We've seen the before and after photo last week. So I'm getting there. Body's starting to change slowly. But again, I'm older and I took some time off, and it's just getting to grips with how my body works now. But the most important thing is I'm still able to live my life. I'm still able to go out and enjoy myself and not restrict myself. And that's the most important thing. That is the message that I'm trying to hammer home for all of you, is that we can be in shape and we can get in shape, but we're not going to do it at the detriment of our own lifestyle, because then it becomes no fun. Anyway, that's enough of that. Week 13, here we go. I will see you all next week.